Bo has to do this once a week or else his head will explode. Doctor's orders. DC Comic News time.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment.
DC Comic Book News, Episode 61, Idiots Away!
Hey folks, how you doing? Comic Book Man here. Welcome once again to my video outhouse. It's time for
DC News.
DC News. And DC News is coming to you from this place, Alternate Reality, which is located at the intersection of 111th and Kedzie in beautiful downtown Mount Greenwood. Alternate Reality, where all new comics are 15% off every day for everyone, including all Superman and all Batman comics. And this is a Superman Batman edition of DC News.
Yes,
DC News. I'm looking at JR back there, looking at the racks.
Hi, JR. How you doing?
And anyway, first story up we've got, there was a big reveal in this, which everybody knows about by now, but why don't you tell us what it was?
In this last issue written by Grant Morrison,
This one right here.
Bruce Wayne publicly announced he's
back.
been funding Batman, and DC's they're touting the moment as a big historical milestone. Okay. The last pages basically have Bruce going, "Hi, I'm Bruce Wayne, I'm back." Even though Bruce Wayne is not officially back until this Wednesday,
Our time,
because Bruce Wayne, The Return of Bruce Wayne #6 hasn't shipped yet.
Our time. They shipped a week early
right,
for us.
Actually it shipped on time.
Well,
The Return of Bruce Wayne was
late.
late. And they could have held the book for a week, which would make a lot of sense, and actually it'll be connected to the next story. But he says he's been financing Batman as a secret for years.
Yes. Well, he says in the thing, I've been financing Batman in secret for years, he says at a press conference. And everyone goes, huh?
And it's like...
But it's not me, no!
And there's a whole bunch of bat signals over his head and everything.
Yes.
But, and aren't the other Batman people hanging around him? Isn't Bruce Wayne?
Well, it's probably one of the... Grant Morrison's doing this whole Batman around the world thing and Batman Incorporated thing, and that probably has something to do with it. Wayne Foundation is funding not just one Batman, not just one, not just two, but 3 Batmans and more in the DC universe.
Speaking of Batman and Robin...
the comic book, Batman and Robin. What's going on in future issues?
Well, the plan was for Patrick Gleason and the guy who works on Green Lantern Corps to take over at 17. That's not going to happen. They're not going to take over until 19. So they've got Paul Cornell, Action Comics Paul Cornell, and Scott McDaniel doing a 3-issue arc for 17 through 19. The story will involve a brand new Paul Cornell created villain known as the Absence. Now, what's unusual about this is they announced this villain team at the beginning of the week. The issues are still going to ship at the same time as the issues they already solicited, which means that DC sort of expected there'd be some kind of screw-up, and they figured, why don't we put Cornell and McDaniel on the book, because they'll sell, and the Patrick Gleason stuff probably won't.
Sounds like a plan.
It was a plan.
Because
it's like, okay, you announce villains, but you're saying you're not missing any ship dates, which means you sort of knew the books were really, really late, which would make me wonder...
Yes.
How often will they ship
the
David Finch Batman book? Because David Finch is very, very slow.
Yes.
And so I think how more villains going to be announced from DC over Batman stuff in a while.
Okay. Also, in the Bat universe, Batwoman 0, which we've talked about before here on this show, is rocketing your way real soon, and it's going to have a big change in it. What is that?
Well, it'll only cost you $2.99.
It was solicited at $3.99, but DC has...
They lowered all the prices.
They've lowered all the prices.
And so by the time the book ships, Batwoman 0, it'll cost you $1 less.
Yeah. And the book picks up where Batwoman Elegy, where Batwoman Elegy left off.
Which is a collection of...
Yes.
Those.
Which has nothing to do
with that.
And all known by Jonathan Smith.
Jonathan Smith. Meanwhile, over in the House of L...
We're not let into the House of L anymore.
Over in the House of L...
Well, it's because you ate all the cheese.
Supergirl! Nick Spencer's got big plans for her.
Nick Spencer's taking over with issue number 60. Bernard Chang's going to draw the book. His plans for the character involve showing her role with the other young heroes of the DC universe.
Yes.
He will also give her new villains, because every villain Supergirl's ever faced is either a younger version of a Superman villain or a female version of a Superman villain. And he said it's going to become a running joke in the book that he's going to do, and it sort of looks like the people couldn't figure out what to do with her. Because he's like, Superman fought Joe the ass clown. Well,
I'd pay money to see that.
Halloween costume.
Jody Ass
I
Clown.
want to hear where this is going.
Joe the Ass Clown
Yes.
is Bill the Ass Clown's brother, who Superman fought a couple months ago. And
Really?
and so the point is, they're going to try to give her new villains.
It's a bold
Nick.
new day at DC with the Ass Clowns.
If you use Joe the Ass Clown,
Yes.
I get a check.
Are we going to have an Ass Clown crisis?
Yes.
Ass Clown. That's
Crisis
gonna be,
on Ass Clown Earth.
That's going to be next year's big DC crossover event.
Yes,
God.
Wars.
The last original villain Supergirl had, and it's not really original, that I remember. This is going way back to when I was a little toddler.
Yes, let's go way back.
Lex Luthor had a cousin, I believe, or a
No,
niece.
see, that doesn't count. It's a cousin. It's a cousin.
And her
It
name
doesn't
was
count.
Natasha, I believe it was, but her nickname was Nasty. That was the last. Oh, of course, I'm skipping over Peter David stuff completely, and Peter David did a whole bunch of stuff.
Well, the Peter David stuff really doesn't
but
exist
doesn't
anymore.
exist anymore.
Because DC's made it a point not to reprint any of the stuff he worked
What
on.
did Peter David do to DC anyway?
I don't know, but I've heard Peter David's a little upset that a lot of his stuff at DC has never been reprinted, especially all his Aquaman stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, last story we've got Superman Earth 1. Superman of Earth 1 was a $20 trade that came out. It was brand new. They promoted the hell out of it.
Yes, yes,
You know, everybody knew about it ahead of time, and it's
Yes.
amazing. Everyone who knew about it ahead of time hadn't a clue that it had come out.
Did it ship yet?
Yes, it's shipped. It's come. It's gone. It was 40% off here at Alternate Reality on the day it came out.
I missed it!
They were all gone by noon. You missed it. If you didn't tell me,
I didn't want it.
if you didn't tell me, yeah, well,
I'll wait for the lower price.
well, okay. It's also gone to #1 on New York Times bestseller list since then, and it's also going into a second printing of the hardcover.
Really?
Which will be out sometime in late November, early December.
December the 2nd, exactly.
December the 2nd, I believe it is.
Wait a minute, hold it. That's
Yes.
that's a Thursday.
Yes, it is. You picked right up on that.
New comics come out on Wednesday.
I believe we have a shipping delay at the end of the month because of Thanksgiving. I think we have a Thanksgiving shipping delay.
Uh-oh. We have to talk some
Watch
geeks off the leg.
ShipShape. Watch ShipShape update to find out more about that.
We'll be there for you.
Well, if the second printing comes in, I'll buy it.
God
Great.
bless you. DC
Yeah, God bless. Thank you, son.
You know, what the hell?
So anyway, yeah, this thing was 40% off here at Alternate Reality on the day that it came out, and they were gone by noon. I ordered up a whole bunch of these things, even though it was a $20 trade, and I sold out of them. And people are surprised that I didn't have any copies, and I told everybody the same thing. It's a $20 trade. How deep do you think stores can go on a $20 trade? You might have wanted to let me know ahead of time, or your local store you might have wanted to let them know ahead of time. Perhaps you might have had some interest in buying
Your
it.
logic
Couldn't
blows
you
me
have just
cover,
ordered
man.
less Doc Savages and Spirits?
Yes, I'm going to order this many of it at $20 a pop. Yeah.
Twiddle-dee, twiddle-dum.
You could use it as stuffing for the Thanksgiving turkey.
Yeah, I could have. Yes, at $20 a pop, we'd be having corned beef hash
Oh, the
with this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, that's it. We're done. We're finished. We're out of here. We got no more DC news, but you can go to the store's website and check out all the DC news that Bo sends me that I post up. And where's that at?
Sarah knows all this, and she's actually eating those Superman hardcovers right now.
www.morealternatereality.com. It's #1 with computer illiterates.
So go to the store's website. Check out all of the DC news that Bo sends me. And until next time, this is Comic Book Man
And Bo,
saying
love that turkey.
bye.
Hey kids, it's not Comic Book Man. Sweet Dan Sweet coming to you from Alternate Reality to let you know our hero of the month is Batman. Bruce Wayne is coming back from the dead, so that means everything from trade paperbacks, hardcovers, showcases, archives, and back issues featuring Batman are all 25% off. If you have holes in your collection, if you've been away from the series for a while, you need to get in here and get your books soon before they're gone, before they swing away.